The S-300 was Iran's main defense system against enemy aircraft, built by Russia and once thought to be nearly impossible to defeat. But that changed on the night of October 26, 2024, when over 100 Israeli F-35 stealth fighter jets took off from secret bases and launched a surprise attack. These jets are hard to detect and highly accurate, allowing Israel to destroy most of Iran's S-300 systems without losing a single plane. The attack was well planned and timed just before dawn, catching Iranian forces off guard. While some soldiers carried on as usual at missile factories and air defense sites, Israeli jets flew nearly 2,000 kilometers over Jordan, Syria, and Iraq to reach Iran. Suddenly, missile defense sites across the country exploded at the same time. Welcome back to our channel Skyjet Wings. The S-300 PMU-2 systems used by Iran were export versions of Russia's S-300 and a major upgrade over older, immobile systems. They were designed to fire and relocate quickly to avoid being targeted. But even with that advantage, the surprise and precision of Israel's attack completely wiped them out in a single strike. The S-300 was a major upgrade from older systems like Russia's S-200, which gave away its location every time it fired. In contrast, the S-300 was fast to set up, highly accurate, and could quickly move after launching missiles, making it much harder to target. Its setup included a truck with 4 missile tubes and radar units to track enemy targets. With a range of 120 to 400 kilometers, it could defend against both aircraft and missiles over long distances. When Iran bought it in the 1990s, it was considered a top-tier defense system, and only a few countries could defeat it by launching rapid, overwhelming attacks. The S-300 gave Iran a sense of security, especially against Israeli airstrikes, something Israel saw as a serious threat. But there was one big issue: the S-300 was designed in the 1970s, and even with updates, it couldn't keep up with today's advanced stealth jets like the Israeli F-35. Iran knew the system was outdated but only made plans, not real action, to buy the newer S-400. That delay proved costly. Imagine going into battle with armor that's falling apart. Would you feel confident? Of course not. But that's exactly what Iran did by relying on the old S-300 systems. Meanwhile, Iran had been increasing its rocket and drone attacks on Israel. A strong response from Israel was expected, but no one knew just how intense it would be. In the past, Israel used older F-16 or F-15 fighter jets to strike limited targets. The S-300 could sometimes stop those jets because they were within its detection range. But this time was different. Israel launched a massive air assault using over 100 aircraft to target almost every major air defense site and missile factory along Iran's western border. This wasn't a small raid, it was a full-scale operation. And leading this powerful fleet were the highly advanced, 5th-generation F-35 stealth jets. These aircraft are designed to be nearly invisible to radar and carry smart weapons. Against them, the aging Russian-made S-300 systems didn't stand a chance. The F-35s completely outmatched Iran's defenses. All Israeli F-35 jets successfully hit their targets and returned without any losses, leaving Iran with fewer than 9 air defense sites. But how did they defeat the powerful Russian-made S-300 systems? The key was the F-35 Lightning II, one of the most advanced jets in the world. It combines stealth, smart navigation, and powerful weapons. Developed over 11 years, the F-35 became mission-ready in 2016 despite early delays. The version Israel uses is specially upgraded for its needs. The F-35A, the US Air Force's main model, has a built-in 25mm cannon and takes off from standard runways. Thanks to its advanced tech and stealth, the F-35 easily avoided detection and overwhelmed Iran's outdated S-300 defenses, making them nearly useless in the surprise attack. Israel uses a special version of the F-35 called the F-35I Adir, which is custom-made to fit Israel's needs. This version is upgraded with Israeli-made weapons, communication systems, data links, and radar technology. Right now, the Israeli Air Force has around 40 of these jets and plans to get 35 more. They are slowly replacing older fighter jets with these advanced F-35s. But what makes the F-35 so special and in such high demand? The F-35 is far ahead of its time in terms of technology. It can fly stealth missions and carry out extremely accurate bombings with ease. Unlike big stealth bombers designed to carry heavy ground-penetrating bombs, the F-35 isn't meant for that kind of heavy-duty job. Instead, it focuses on smart and silent attacks. To stay hidden, the F-35 has 2 internal weapon bays, each with 2 missile or bomb slots. That's why you don't see weapons hanging from its wings like on older jets. It keeps them hidden to avoid radar detection. However, when stealth isn't needed, the F-35 can switch to what's known as beast mode. In beast mode, the jet becomes a heavily armed warplane. It gives up stealth and carries extra weapons on its wings. The 2 outer stations can each hold bombs up to 2,500 pounds, 1,100 kilograms, while the inner ones carry air-to-air missiles. So, whether it needs to sneak in silently or go full firepower, the F-35 can adapt to the mission, making it one of the most flexible and dangerous fighter jets in the world. The F-35 can carry large weapons like the JASSM or RASM on 6 external stations when stealth isn't needed. Inside, the cockpit features a 20x8-inch touchscreen, speech recognition, and advanced avionics to give the pilot full control and awareness. It's equipped with cutting-edge systems like the N/ASQ-239 Barracuda and N/AAQ-37 DAS, allowing real-time data sharing and threat detection. Although Elon Musk once criticized the F-35 for being untested, Israel's recent strike on Iran proved its power. The jets destroyed advanced S-300 defenses without being detected or losing a single aircraft. This operation showed the S-300's failure against modern tech and left Iran with only a few active air defense systems, significantly weakening its military edge over Israel. Iran's military bases and key facilities are now vulnerable targets for Israeli F-35 jets. With Russia focused on the war in Ukraine, Putin has left Iran on its own. The October 2024 Israeli airstrike destroyed most of Iran's S-300 systems and weapons factories, forcing Iran to depend on outdated Soviet or homemade defenses. This weakens Iran's ability to protect its airspace and will likely make its leaders reconsider provoking Israel. As a result, Iran and its proxy forces are now unlikely to launch large-scale missile or drone attacks like those seen in 2024. Strategically, this is a major win for Israel. Without Russian support or access to advanced weapons, it could take Iran years to rebuild its air defenses, if they can manage it at all. Unlike Russia, Iran can't produce its own advanced defense systems or long-range weapons. With its air defenses destroyed and no support from Russia, Iran is now highly vulnerable. Western countries, longtime enemies of Iran, stand to benefit the most from this shift. This won't end in Iran's favor militarily. Instead, it will likely bring more international sanctions, especially with Iran's nuclear ambitions. Israel didn't start this fight, but with its stronger missile power and air superiority, it now holds the upper hand. If Iran continues backing groups like Hezbollah or launching drone attacks, the consequences could be devastating. With Israeli jets controlling Iranian airspace, Iran's military is helpless, like being held back and punched repeatedly. And with Iran's skies now open, an Israeli airstrike on Iran's nuclear sites, just like past strikes on Iraq and Syria, is now a real possibility. Perfect for aviation fans, military tech enthusiasts, and defense analysts across the USA, UK, Germany, France, and NATO countries. Subscribe our channel Skyjet Wings for more real defense analysis, global conflict updates, and next-gen military tech.